Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome to Homeland Heroes Salute Podcast with your hosts, Doug Macedo and Jim Roberg.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode. I'm your host, Doug, and today we've got two special guests that are here with me. We have Mike up here on the top, my top left, down below on the bottom left of me. We have Nikki, but before we get into them and who they are, we want to give a big shout out to all of our sponsors and everything, as well as a thank you to our last guest, which was Paul Lawrence, and so we definitely do appreciate him coming on and talking about the On the Water with Veterans and Track Day for Veterans and everything. Appreciate him coming on, talking about his experience and everything, and what the organization here has done for him and stuff like that. So, with that being said, I want to give a big shout out to all of our sponsors and listeners. All of our sponsors, Reed's Archery down in Middleborough, Massachusetts, Wolf Aviation in Westfield, Massachusetts, over at Barnes Airport. We have Big Belly Cafe. If you're looking for something to eat, the kitchen sink is the thing to get. I'm telling you, tomorrow, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing, is having that kitchen sink. So definitely check them out. They're down in Webster, Massachusetts, right next to Indian Ranch. You got Larry's Landscape Supply. You need it. He's got it. You're looking for grindings. You're looking for 3/4 inch riprap. You're looking for mulch. He's got it. He's your man. If you're looking for loom, he's also got it. So go ahead and check him out. Larry's a good friend of mine down in Charlton, Massachusetts. Definitely hit him up. We also have the Guardians of the Purple Heart of Connecticut and Rhode Island. You got Doug, who is the founder of it, as well as Nick. They handle the Connecticut and Rhode Island chapters. You also have the Veteran Development Corporation. Mark Vaughn, he's been with us now for just over a year. Absolutely amazing guy. He's the owner of the Veteran Development Corporation. They're expanding all over, but definitely be on the lookout if you're ever needing anything. Reach out to them as well. We also have LVJ Trailer down in Norfolk, Massachusetts. You need a trailer, open or closed trailer. They've got it. They'll hook you up. You got Standard Auto and Wrecking in Worcester, Massachusetts. You got Harbor Freight. That is a national chain for tools and stuff like that. They've been with us now for just over a year. We've got Doug Vine, who does the number Car 55X out of Michigan. And then you got Derek Roby. You got him. He's the short track king right now. Good guy. Definitely one of our other sponsors as well. So check them out at DDR Motorsports. We've got a few new ones that are going to be coming up. Can't talk about it, can't tell you, but just know next year, just like this year was off the chain, it's going to be even, the boat's going to be even rocking more next year. So definitely be on the lookout for the 2025 launch and the sponsors and donors. And last but not least, we've got Cornerstone Bank, who has done a phenomenal job with donating to us and helping us out with what we need to get things done. So definitely appreciate them all. Definitely appreciate all the viewers, all the listeners, the followers, subscribers, you name it. Appreciate you guys checking in every week. Just last week we had over 490 views. So please definitely take a peek. And also check us out on YouTube. We need to blow that up some more. Looking for those subbies out there. So definitely get out there and hit that subscribe button and definitely follow us. On to our guest today. On to our guest, Frosty, Mike. You know, we're gonna start off with you to my person to the left. You know, let's give the guys give all the viewers kind of background on you, who you are and what you do.
All right, so joined the Army in 1985, coming from a military family, very successful through infantry, airborne, ranger, and so on. Was called for 7 times, volunteered for a few of those, multiple places around the world. And due to injuries, my last time over, I kind of lost my purpose, and I was only 42 years old.
Yeah.
I was retired permanently, and I didn't know what to do with myself. So I went down the bad road. Instead of going for help like normal people, I sank into alcohol and any other drug that would, numb me, kind of squash the nightmares a little bit, and make me feel human.
Yeah.
And because of that, I turned 55 in a jail cell. What 55-year-old man should be going to jail for something he may or may not have done, but was blackout drunk and just couldn't fight it. So I asked the powers that be there in the sheriff's department if I could be released and go to a treatment center. And they put me on an ankle monitor, and they sent me to Green Mountain Treatment Center. Now, that was my second time there. The first time out of multiple treatment episodes that I was there for myself, however. It changed everything. Now from a successful career, retired Master Sgt, all the ribbons, all the hooah stuff, and I landed in a jail cell. That just proved to me that it could happen to anybody. This disease, it sneaks up on you, boy. It's waiting for you around every corner. Addiction and alcoholism was pretty rampant. There wasn't a whole lot when I retired as far as tools, resources, places to go. It was just, I guess, starting to become a problem then. When I retired, you figure with 25 years, it would be a pretty big deal. But what it was an auditorium with 2 other people. They handed me a flag and a little dime-sized pen that said, Army for life. And out the door I went. Now I had to become a civilian. Well, I didn't know how. So I went to Green Mountain and I met with my case manager. And the first thing I said to her, and she was an angel, by the way, because I came with so much baggage. I said, you tell me. I don't know what I'm doing, how to do it. I need help. And the process, because I let go and let somebody else take charge, became very smooth. The rally recovery, being in a group of brothers and sisters, all fighting the same demons, and it made treatment something that I woke up and looked forward to every day, because we are a different group of people. They say sit with warriors, the conversation is different. Well, it absolutely is. We are part of that 1%. So that was a big plus for me, was being in a treatment atmosphere where I had that camaraderie back again. And fortunately, the woman that ran it is a former Marine, Katie Del Rio, and she did a fantastic job. She was someone, actually, everybody at the Green Mountain Treatment Center was approachable. It didn't matter if they were working with you specifically or not. If they had time, they would stop and talk to you. So it was a huge success for me, and I stayed there 90 days. I went through family counseling with my daughters, who at one point just wanted me to disappear, and they're now fully back in my life along with my grandkids. It's been a very humbling experience that I stay grateful for every day. I went to Liberty House in Manchester, which is a veterans transitional home. I had to finish up my criminal case, a divorce, sell a home, and get myself back on track financially. So spending 13 months there was the key to my success.
Yeah.
When I left, I needed that little bit of accountability. I thought I had it, but every other time I said I have it, boy, I didn't have it. So going there for 13 months definitely set me up for success. And those folks too are, they're angels. They're there for you. They help you every step of the way. When I left, I left very confident that not only was it time for me to go back out on my own, but to keep doing the things that kept me well, which is stay part of the community, the alumni, get back involved with the veterans organizations. And ultimately, I ended up going to work for a company in Franklin, New Hampshire, Innate Therapeutic Services. We developed a Veterans for Veterans program. The entire team is made up of combat veterans that have struggled with mental health, addiction, suicide, and incarceration. So our success has made us a leading choice amongst the VA as a provider because we can sit and relate to those folks.
Yeah.
So what I do now is I go around, I visit all the different treatment centers, the sober homes. I go to the resource fairs. I try to gather as much as I can. So when a client comes in, one of the clinicians can determine if we're a good suit or do they need a higher level of care. Once the determination is made, higher level of care, I get right on the phone with like Tony and Mike McCormick at Granite. I'm in with the admissions folks there, and it makes it a very easy process. By the time these people are ready to go, I have them there ready, and there's always somebody that answers on the other end. And that's huge. When you got somebody ready, you got to take that opportunity right now.
Yeah.
And it's just been working, and we've had success. We had our first client go to Granite Canterbury for mental health, who's a veteran. And believe it or not, no alcoholism, no addiction. It was just a mental health thing. And he came back successful. The communication between the case managers there and our staff was top notch. So a lot of what I do, Doug, it's volunteer. I'm a retiree. I don't need to make a lot of money. What I do need, however, and like a lot of veterans, we need a purpose. We need a new mission and a reason to wake up in the morning. So now I've dedicated myself to whatever the best fit for the veteran client is. And Innate in general handles all, general public. We just happen to have now a new veterans program. So we have everything from, trusted providers and prescribers and whatever we need. It's becoming a great company to work for. And we have great resources that we can work with as well when it comes to higher levels of care.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, you hit it right on the head of it. As a lot of us veterans need a purpose to be able to wake up every morning, let alone our own kids or grandkids and stuff like that. Those are always going to be a purpose, but we need to find our true calling back, because again, we weren't made to be in the civilian lifestyle, because all we know, being in the military for as long as a lot of us have, it's like all we know is the military. Some of us go in right after high school. Some wait, a couple of years and then go in. But again, not all they still know is the military, because that's what gets drilled into you, as of day one. As soon as you get the reception,
Absolutely.
it's yes sir, no sir, yes sergeant, no nose drill sergeant, dress like dress. Everybody has their boots, tennis shoes, dress shoes, socks, underwear, undershirts, shorts, and they're all rolled the same. They're not done differently. That's how we learned day one.
That's it.
You know, and you getting out, as a master sergeant, that takes some time. It's not like, you wake up and you're, a master sergeant. You're going through, you're doing the ranks, and getting the promotions and go in front of the board and, do A knock, B knock, WLC and all that. It's amazing.
I think it was easy for me, Doug, because I was born into it. I grew
Yeah.
up on bases. My dad's a retiree. My granddad's a retiree. So really, that lifestyle is what I knew anyway.
Yeah.
So it was at 17, a very smooth transition for me.
Which absolutely that it would, because it would be somewhat of a more of a smoother transition compared to a lot of others. Like for myself, it's like I grew up in a house with the military, but I didn't grow up on bases. It was different, but I had the structure with it of the military because of my grandfather. And did I get in trouble? Hell yeah, I did. I got in trouble when I was growing up. Who didn't raise hell?
Right?
You show me someone that didn't raise hell, I'll show you a liar. We all give our moms, dad, grandparents, and stuff like that hell. It's in our nature. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right with all that. And once you get into civilian life, it's you're trying to figure it out. Military, you start day one as soon as you get there, and you don't stop until the day you leave. Now that's all you know. And if you've gone to war, gone and done deployments to, say 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 15, however many people do, now you got to take that out of the person. Try to. Well, unfortunately, once you let the cat out of the bag, that's you have seen it. You've seen the stuff that most Americans don't ever see, unless you live in a crime area where there's a lot of crime. But I've seen it, firsthand and everything, and it's like you're not the same. You're not the same individual. Now you just got to figure out how you're able to cope with it, and be able to be. There's not a norm of being a civilian. You just got to be able to, as the military says, is adapt and overcome with what you have seen. And that's where even the higher up NCOs that I've been under, and it's always, when they're stomping their foot, they're like, listen up, that's the time you got to listen up. It'd behoove you to listen up. So that's where it's, you just got to be able to take it and go with it and be able to adapt and overcome those challenges.
And a lot of times they make it difficult as well. Being that high ranking NCO, I had to shut my feelings off, to stay strong for my guys who were also hurting, but because of the stigma, nobody would ask for help, because they didn't want to be punished for it. So what do we do? We do what we've seen before. We try to drown it with alcohol and other substances.
Yeah. Without saying the person's name, there's a friend of mine. He was a higher ranking NCO. This just took place, and he struggled. He's struggling. Okay. it's not an addiction or anything like that, but it's struggling with his PTSD. And without getting too much into it, it's he's hoarding. I went over yesterday to help him out. And we got quite a few of what needed to get taken care of, got quite a few of it out and handled. He calls and checks up. I have him call me every hour, on the hour, to call up and check with me. Just say, hey, how, just so I know he's still doing good and he's still cleaning, doing the things that he needs to do and taking care of it. But you know, it's because of his PTSD and his anxiety. He does the things that he's doing. He just came out and told me yesterday, and I've always been asking him almost every single time I talk to him, and I noticed the change in it the last couple months. And he finally called me and said, yeah, I'm not doing good. And, you know, he finally asked for help. And I said, you know what, man? It was like 7:30, 8 o'clock last night. I said, give me 5 mics. I'll be on the road. Went there. Didn't leave there until 12:30 or so last night to make sure he was squared away. You know, there's still stuff going on. He's still working on some things, but didn't want to bother too many of the neighbors, put it that way. But still working on it. He's still going. And he texts me and says, yep, I appreciate everything you've done. He goes, says you can't really know how many people wouldn't even answer a text message. He goes, but I know you're a stand-up guy. And I'm like, dude, we're here for you. I'm here. You're another brother to me, you know. Brother, sister, don't matter. You can be black, yellow, green, whatever. It don't matter. You call, I will haul. I will be there. That was my motto in the service. Was our motto when we locked it up to attention. It was, you call, we haul. And that's how I still lived to this day. It's, you call, I will be there. It don't matter what it is. You know,
God, you're able to be there for him and take that call, and I think that's really what it all comes down to, is having that support system. And it can be that one friend, that you can count on. But if you have that person that's willing to come to your house at 8 o'clock at night, like you'd probably rather be sitting in front of the TV with your feet up, like we all would. But just being able to offer that support and be there, like that is life-changing, and being able to do that, like, thank God.
And that's how us veterans are. Mike, it's at the time that I've known you now, it's like anything that anybody needs, they call you or email you or whatnot, you're on it.
Absolutely.
Same with you, Nikki. I since I've met you at the Veterans Stand Down, it's like you're straight up like, here we go. This is where we're going. This is what we're doing. That you need it. All right, got it. No problem. It takes a lot to stand behind everybody, and it's just great that we have people like you. Mike, is that you're doing this. It's amazing that you're doing the work that you're doing and still be able to take care of yourself, because I know you're going through your stuff from the knee surgery and stuff like that. I applaud you for that, because if I was in pain, if I had my knee a total knee replacement or whatnot, I'm gonna be I'll probably be laying in my bed trying to have the machine just keep working my knee. My brother had that. My brother had that done, and I'm like, I don't envy anybody that has any kind of knee surgery. I'm hurting on my knee, and I don't want to go and do any of that. I'm scared of it. But no, it's definitely good. It's knowing that those what you have out there. How can someone get a hold of you, Mike, if someone is out there and they're like, hey, you know what, I'm struggling with, mental health or substance or alcohol. How can they get a hold of you?
Absolutely. I use my personal cell phone number,
Okay.
which is 605. It's a North Dakota or a South Dakota area code, 605
Perfect, perfect, and we'll have that linked right down below, everybody. So if you missed it, it will be down below. I'm gonna have it pinned here in a second. So definitely look out for it. And what is just because I know we touched on it just quick. What was the name of the organization that you go with or you work with?
It's Innate, Innate Therapeutic Services, and that's also linked on the web, innatetherapeuticsservices.com,
Perfect.
and that goes right to our guy who's a veteran, and he can do everything from scheduling to set up peer support, case management, whatever's required.
Perfect, perfect. And we'll have all that as well linked right below here shortly. So definitely appreciate you that. Now on to the mastermind behind this all. Right? Is that how we're supposed to introduce Nikki, the mastermind?
I love being introduced that way. Yeah.
So Nikki, you work with Granite Recovery Centers. You and I met at the Veteran, as I just stated, the Veteran Inc. Stand down. Your tent was right across from my tent and all that. So I will let you introduce you and give everybody a little bit of background of who you are and what you do for Granite Recovery Centers.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And thank you guys both for your service. I feel like a lot of the reason that I kind of do what I do. So I am a civilian and come from a military family. My dad's a former Marine. My brother's a former Marine. After my dad left the Marines, he went into law enforcement. So he was a retired state police lieutenant. So that kind of culture and structure and atmosphere was just always present in my life growing up. And I think that, kind of the big takeaways in addition to just the structure, the discipline, the, kind of overarching routines and things like that. My dad always was and continues to be someone that just wanted to help people. And I think that's why, he in his heart joined the military. That's why he joined the state police, was just that kind of helping people mentality. My mom was a nurse, come from just a long line of helpers. And that is kind of always been present in my life. I feel like that's kind of what led me into more of like the clinical social work side of things. So yeah, I've been with Granite just over a year now. Most of my career has been spent working in the mental health space, working with people that just haven't had the same opportunities as everybody else, or have been otherwise impacted by trauma and life's hardships in one way or another. So I think that working with Granite has been wonderful, just because it's allowed me to really just help people get into the treatment program that they need, whether that's with us or with someone else. Just being able to connect people to the proper service and being able to put my stamp of approval on something and say like, hey, like I would go to this place. I would send my loved one to this place. Like it's legit. And being able to kind of just vet through some of the services and programs and really help people navigate that system, because it is a crazy system to navigate, as we know.
Absolutely.
It's tough. So with Granite, Granite Recovery Centers is kind of our larger organization. We have 5 programs under that umbrella. So Green Mountain Treatment Center, which we talked about, which, Frosty is an alumni of that program, is our largest center. So that is in Effingham, New Hampshire. That has a full continuum of care for substance use. So we're able to help people if they need to detox from, drugs or alcohol. We're able to do that. We have a residential, or sometimes called a CSS level of care, which is like a little bit more stabilization, but still in that residential kind of a setting. And then we have outpatient. So we have a partial hospitalization program, which you might sometimes hear all the alphabet soup, right? All the letters that we use, acronyms. We love a good acronym.
Yes.
It's PHP. And then our intensive outpatient program is IOP. The cool thing about our PHP and IOP is that they have housing. So if somebody, wants to come up to the mountain and stay for a little bit longer, they're able to do that. So our average length of stay there is actually around 45 days, which is pretty long for substance use treatment. I don't know what the, state or national averages are or anything like that, but I know that it's a considerable amount of time that people are really committing, to their treatment, to being with us. So that center has Rally Point Recovery within it, which is our veteran-specific program that Mike touched on. And, I second. Katie Del Rio is an amazing human, our director over there. She's real smart, real knowledgeable, and really just knows her stuff and is able to connect in a way that I think perhaps a civilian might not be able to connect, with our vets. So we're really fortunate to have that program, so people can access that program with their VA benefit if that's something that they want to do. We also are able to take commercial insurances as well. So if somebody, is working now, you have Blue Cross or whatever, we're able to take all those insurances too on an in-network basis. So it kind of cuts out any of the funny business, I guess, with insurances when we're in network. It's just really direct, yes, we take your insurance. Yes, this is your copay. It's pretty straightforward.
That's good.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of our largest facility up at Green Mountain. It is definitely a retreat. You feel like you're going away somewhere. You're not home. When you go up there, it's up on a mountain, just like the name kind of indicates. There's a beautiful view. It's away from everything. It's very quiet, very peaceful. The treatment there is dignified, it's clean, it's, you feel like you're being treated with respect, and just given all the tools and resources that you need to focus and get well while you're there. We have kind of our sister program to that is in Portland, Maine. That's called Liberty Bay Recovery Center. That is a smaller, more intimate program. I think our max capacity over there is 35. So it is, tighter knit kind of community over there. That program is able to take TRICARE insurance. So all of our National Guardsmen are able, family members that are on the TRICARE are able to access that program as well, with the same full continuum of services. Which is great. And then we have 2 programs that take the state-based insurance, so Medicaid. Through New Hampshire, we're able to do that for outpatient as well as, detox residential, all the same services. And then we have another program that I get really excited about, and Mike just mentioned sending somebody through there recently. I'm so glad that, it went well and they had a great experience there. I mean, as great of an experience as you can have in treatment, right? But that program is our mental health program. So New Freedom Academy, it's in Canterbury, which is right outside of Concord, New Hampshire. Same kind of vibe, like you're away, it's in the woods a little bit, it's kind of remote. But I previously had worked in an inpatient psych hospital, and I could tell you that this is a far cry from that experience. It is not a secured, locked facility. It is, in the woods, in nature. You can walk freely from the bedroom to the kitchen to the, group room. It really is designed to help people work on their mental health in an environment that's away from their home that they really have perhaps not had the opportunity to do other than going into a hospital. People that are just struggling with PTSD, depression, anxiety, any mental health disorder really that you could think of, we're able to kind of help people have that time and space away to stabilize a bit, and then perhaps go on to an outpatient program. We do have our own PHP and IOP, so those partial hospitalization, intensive outpatient programs there with housing as well. But I think that it just gives people that space to clear their head and figure out like what is going on, that all these stressors or all these things in my life have kind of come to this point, and giving people the opportunity to perhaps stabilize on medication. That can be a scary thing. A lot of the psych meds, or there could be some heavy duty medications that people are taking. So to be able to do that in an environment where there's a nurse and there's, people that are able to kind of monitor and help, as you're kind of going through any changes with medications, can just be a nice support. And really just taking that pause and taking a little bit deeper dive into, what do we really need to be successful leaving here? And I think that's kind of the goal in all of our programs, which is why I really enjoy working with Granite, is that we're looking at not just the symptom or not just the drinking or not just the drug use, but it's why and how and what do we do about it? It's not just, okay, detox, get everything out of your system and peace and blessings. Like it's really looking at, what do we need to wrap around you so that you feel supported and you feel like you can go and enjoy your life again, or enjoy your life for the first time, and really just live and be successful. And I think that being able to partner with a lot of our, just local communities, local organizations, we work really closely with Innate, like we're inpatient, we're residential, we have people that come to us, but working with people that go to the people in the community is really important, and kind of closing that loop and being able, to just offer anything that somebody might need at any point in time, either through us or through those connections, has been huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot, and you both are doing a lot of great work, and I applaud you guys on it, because it does take a special people to be able to handle this and be able to help others that are going through those tough periods of their time in their life. That some people will look at it and say, well, I'm at the end of my rope, or I'm at I hit rock bottom. But really look at it, it's like you haven't hit rock bottom because you're not going to hit it. You're here at a point in your life where you need to be able to get help, and you're doing the first step by asking for help. And there you guys are to be able to help them out by being able to get them squared away and into these facilities. Because as you were saying, the Liberty Bay facility that can hold a max up to, you said 35, you said?
Yeah.
The New Freedom, that one, is that, I think it was around the same, or is
That
it?
one's a little bit smaller. Yeah, so
bit
that's
smaller.
actually 20.
20.
So it's a pretty intimate setting. You're not kind of stuffed into a hospital with bunk beds and
Yeah.
like you're not on top of people. It really is, it's a little bit more spread out. So we can accommodate up to 20 people there, inpatient, like in the residential,
Yeah.
and then more for
Yeah,
outpatient, and then up at Green Mountain, we have about 185 beds across all the levels of care there, which again, like it sounds huge. It is huge. But this is also on acres and acres of land and, kind of separate, spread out housing and things like that. So it's a big network and a big community,
Yeah.
but there's still a lot of one-on-one attention and really just people focused care, which I think unfortunately can get lost in some places, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We're really lucky to have just a team of people that care. And I think that is one of the things that sets Granite apart. We have a pretty large percentage of our staff are in recovery themselves. We have a lot of staff members that have been through Green Mountain Treatment Center themselves. Geographically, there's not a lot of options up in New Hampshire. So we're really proud to be able to just have that service and help people that might not otherwise be able to access care. We see a lot of people come from out of state. Like I personally live in Massachusetts, so I get a lot of my, local people that end up coming up and through too. But yeah, I think just being able to have people come into treatment, look them in the eye, respect them, care about what they need, care about what's going on at home, what do you need help with, is huge, And then we also have a really big alumni program, and that's been something I think that has really been a game changer for a lot of people. We're checking in with people when they leave our program. We have a wonderful alumni coordinator. His name is Amadeus, and his job is really to just focus on people that have kind of graduated through our program, and check in. How's it going? And it might not be the answer that he wants to hear on the other end of the phone, but he's calling and he's checking in and seeing what can we do, to get you back on the right track if you're not, or, it's always to hear those success stories too of like things are going awesome, I have a job, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So we spend a lot of time kind of coordinating just fun events, softball tournaments and cookouts and karaoke and bowling and all the things that I think often get like stripped away from people when they're struggling either with mental health or addiction. And, being able to just go out and have fun and not have it be at, the cost of anything, just to, emotionally, like just being able to not have it like, oh, well, I have to do this thing, I'm required, like just go have a hot dog with someone at a cookout and hang out. Being able to just insert those kind of joys of life again.
Do you guys have like therapeutic like yoga, like grounding stuff like that there for the patients? Well, for the no, I wouldn't say patients. I mean, it's more for the individuals that are there working on their things that they need to work on. I know you guys. I don't know if you guys label it as patient, but but it's like I know sometimes people are always like, yeah, I don't want to be labeled as a patient because I'm not really a patient. I'm here just working on something. But then there's others. But
everybody's different. I usually say clients because I feel like you're coming to Granite for a service and you're a client. I think that we take a pretty holistic approach. Not holistic meaning like hippie woo necessarily, but holistic like the whole person. And really looking at like physical health, mental health, spiritual, everything, and kind of giving people what they need, how they need it. So Green Mountain has a great gym. The gym is like, I don't know how many square feet, but it's great. It's a good size. It's got real equipment, real weights, real
nice.
Good maintained stuff there. Which I think that giving the opportunity to just incorporate some physical exercise. I think especially for our veteran population, that, you know, getting into just some of that like physical work feels good. So, you know, we're able to offer that. I know at New Freedom Academy, we have pet therapy coming in a couple times a month. We do a lot of art, music, drumming, you know, that kind of stuff that, again, it's the artistic component of it, but it's also like trauma lives inside of our bodies, and being able to release some of that tension and learn how to feel comfortable and safe in your body without the use of drugs, alcohol, you know, certain medications, things like that is really powerful. So just being able to kind of explore other avenues, you know, than just kind of traditional talk therapy or just traditional being in a talk group, you know, kind of looking at other ways.
Yeah. Now,
You that too, but
so I know we're getting to the end of this and to the episode, but they can if they're looking to get into doing any intake and stuff like that, the number that they can reach out to you is at the 855-733-0808.
yeah, so that's our intake line. I'm also happy to give out my cell phone number, because if people have questions, that's a lot of my day is I talk to people that are looking to get help. I talk to a lot of family members. I talk to a lot of, you know, spouses, kids, whatever.
Yeah.
So my direct number is 603-851-4921.
Perfect. And if you didn't get that, everybody, it's 603-851-4921. And what about the email address? Is that okay to give out that as well?
Yep, absolutely. It's kind of long, so I don't know if it.
It's it's N Mason at graniterecoverycenters.com, which all that will be down below. Everything will be pinned, but that's N is in November, M is in Mike, A is in Alpha, S is in Sierra, O is in October, N is in November at graniterecoverycenters.com. But again, all that will be right down below for everybody. Looks like Mike has a question or wants to chime in. I can see him moving back there. He's shaking and moving.
Just trying to stay comfortable. I just want to piggyback on something that Nikki said, the alumni program.
Yep.
You know, every Friday night in Hooksett, they get together 7 to 8 for a meeting. It's almost like old home days, because you're seeing people you went through with, new people that are coming out, becoming sober. And once a month, the third Friday of the month, it's fellowship, which could be anything from the bowling to Casey's Rib Shack in Manchester, mini golf. I mean, you name it. There's a variety of events. And the idea is to show you that you can have fun sober.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of us, me included, I didn't know. I thought you had to be hammered to do everything.
Trust me, I'm with you on it. That's why, again, it's like
Yeah.
I don't even drink. I've been sober for some time now, and still working on it just to keep it that way. But as I've told a lot of people, it's I got diagnosed with stage 4 cirrhosis of the liver. I'm just about to turn 40 here shortly. I'm not old, but it can happen to anybody. It doesn't discriminate against anybody. Anything like this, it doesn't, and it's never too late to ask for help, and don't ever feel ashamed to ask for help. You know, if you're in dire need and you need to talk to somebody, you know, dial 988, get the Veteran Crisis Line on. But if you're really in need, just pick up the phone and dial 911, and you know, get someone there to help you out immediately, or if you can, just get to the closest hospital, because again, we don't want to lose anybody. We need to break the cycle of the 22 a day. We need to get it down to nothing a day.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just something that we all need to take care of, and we all need to take care of one another. That's what being, neighbors and being here in the country is. That's free. It's taking care of one another, no matter what, thick or thin, red, blue, black, yellow, green, doesn't matter. We all bleed red. So, as one of my country singers, Ronnie Dunn, sings. But I appreciate everybody checking in, watching this tonight. Thank you guys, Frosty and Nikki, for coming on and chit-chatting us, talking about what you guys have going on, as well as who you guys are and how they can get a hold of you guys. And ladies, I should say, guys and ladies. I don't, appreciate you two coming on. And I'm going to have Beavis and Butthead take it over and tell us what they think, because I'm still an MTV person. I've grown up MTV. You name it, I grew up with it. Even wrestling, I'll tell you. Bushwhackers, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, you name it. But good talking to you guys. Good seeing you guys again. Look forward to it again. Until next time, Beavis and Butthead, take it away for us.
Thank you for supporting Homeland Heroes Salute Podcast. Please make sure to like and follow Homeland Heroes on all of their social media outlets. Homeland Heroes Salute Podcast is a Foo Bar Studios Sinister One co-production.